At work, I do a lot of extra stuff, company party planning, pick up extra shifts, etc., and get extra paid time off, PTO, as one of the compensations. Due to this, I end up getting maxed out PTO and use it regularly. Well, I have a major certificate test next week and wanted to get all of my schoolwork done for the next few weeks and spend a large amount of time studying and doing practice exams in preparation for my test. I took the whole week, after Labor Day, off in order to do this. I didn't tell my wife because I knew she would start asking me to do other stuff, go places, etc. Despite my intention for PTO being academically based, I do have kids, and I know I cannot study for 12 hours a day, so I would break it up every few hours and do some stuff with them. Well, my first day was fine because my wife was working and my kids were out of the house, so I was able to complete almost all of my 2 weeks' worth of schoolwork. On day 2, my wife starts doing the "you cannot stop studying to play with your son. He wants to go outside, can you take him?" etc. I told her, this is why I didn't mention having PTO, because from your perspective, I am still working, yet you aren't going to take it that way. She said I'm an idiot for lying to her. Maybe I am, but I know my wife. She gets on me to do extra stuff while I'm working from home, so if I'm not working but still studying, I knew she would push it even more. She even does the whole "you better pass your test" crap, yet seems to get in the way of my studying unless it's late at night when she's asleep. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I was prepared to say, "You're the idiot," but I'm torn. When you're working from home, including anything that requires study, for certifications, job promotions, it is supposed to be work, not running errands, playing with the kids, or doing household chores. Just like you can't do these things when you're in the office, the company is paying you to focus on their needs from a place more convenient to you. You need to have a conversation with your wife concerning the fact that if you're doing anything work-related from home, that needs to be your focus. You shouldn't have to lie or conceal anything from your partner. The fact that you felt like you had to speaks volumes about the state of your relationship, and you'd both better take a hard look at how you interact with one another before this whole thing falls apart. The belittling things she said create the idea that she is disappointed with your level of effort. Play with your kid while you're supposed to be working. You'd better pass your test. And the fact that you feel she's unsupportive. She gets on me to do extra stuff while I'm working from home. So if I'm not working, but still studying, I knew she would push it even more. Imply there's a level of resentment there that is festering that you're both ignoring. Everyone sucks here, and I hope the two of you consider couples therapy. Comment 2. Everyone sucks here. You earned this extra PTO by picking up extra shifts. The extra stuff kept you away from your family, and your wife had to pick up the slack for you not being there. This extra PTO should have been used to make up for the time your wife had to cover for you and the time you missed with your kids. The only reason I didn't go with "you're the idiot" is because your wife doesn't treat you studying and working from home like you are at work. And her snide comments, I understand why you didn't tell her. It seems like her actions may stem from you disrespecting her time, effort, when you take on extra work. When you ask her to do extra with the home or kids, when you take on extra work, is probably not too different from how you feel when she asks the same of you when you are working from home. Comment 3. Info. Do you normally work from home, and now you are on PTO studying from home? I don't see any difference or reason that would be discussed with her. You're on paid time and studying for a certificate related to your career that will presumably help you earn more money in the future and/or keep your job. Or do you normally work from an office, and you got dressed, got in your car, drove around the block, waited for her to leave for her job, and then you drove back home? Was there deceit or trickery involved here, other than just not telling her you were on paid PTO time versus paid working from home time? Lastly, does your use of PTO for this impact your ability to go on family vacations, etc.? Now, for the next story. My wife is irate with me and calling me controlling and saying I want her to have no social life, etc. Because recently I found out that where she works as a receptionist, ratio is 2 girls to about 30 guys. They've been getting off around 3 p.m. some Fridays, and while most people leave, including the other female, she, her manager, and a few other guys drink together in the manager's office. And I'm upset. She said she didn't tell me about it and hid it from me because she knew how I would act. For context, she has a social life, Even with 4 kids, she still plays at least 4. 5 gigs a month, used to be more like 7. 9. But I was exhausted, and our therapist agreed she should cut back. Important edit. I wanted to leave this out to see what people thought, but she cheated on me 1 year ago or so. We made 2 rules in therapy. She made 2 as well. Mine were 1, she doesn't add a guy to her personal social media or into her phone if I don't also know him. 2, she tells me about time spent with guys I don't know, like if she had a guy buy her a drink after one of her gigs and chatted with him. Reasoning here was that I don't want to find out from someone other than my wife who saw her having drinks with some guy and laughing. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You know the answer here. There shouldn't be secrets in a marriage, even with stuff that would upset one another. Adding in the context of your edit, and I suspect most of the replies you're going to get, mine included, is, why are you still with her? She cheats on you. She lies to you. She spends an inordinate amount of time away from you and the kids. She's not a wife. You're her safety net for her partying lifestyle. At least, that's the way it sounds with what you've posted. You deserve someone who will respect the relationship, respect the kids, and most of all, respect you. Right now, you absolutely do not have that, and aren't likely to get it anytime soon. You need to look up sunk cost fallacy and spend some time seriously considering what the future of your marriage is going to look like. From where I sit, it's not promising. Comment 2. Not the idiot controlling is the new buzzword for having any boundaries at all. Not wanting your wife drinking with other men is not controlling at all. Even more so, since she has cheated on you before. Why you didn't dump her when she cheated, I don't know. If she's lying about this, what else might she be lying about? Comment 3. She cheated on me a year ago. Based on this comment below, not the idiot. She made a lie of omission about drinking with the coworkers. While the act itself is not wrong, keeping it behind your back when she has a history of tripping and falling onto someone's penis is very wrong. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for refusing to participate in my 35-year-old birthday lunch at work? My office is small, 9 people total, and every other employee gets their own lunch except for me and Francis, 39-year-old, who shares my exact birthday, are forced to share a birthday outing each year. This means that each year, everyone else gets to choose their favorite restaurants, while each year I have to settle for some mediocre restaurant, because he has the taste buds of a petulant toddler, and acts like one when we go out too. Seriously, it's embarrassing to be in a restaurant with him. He has an attitude with servers, and we all place bets to see how fast he sends back his food or complains and tries to get his meal comped. When I voice my wishes to not participate any longer in my own birthday, but would still be willing to pitch in for Francis's meal, everyone is acting like I'm the idiot. I tried to explain that if our birthdays had been even 1 week apart, nobody would bat an eye, and that we don't even do the lunch on our actual birthday, but nobody seems to care. They say I should just go along and compromise. So, am I the idiot? Edit 1. 2 other employees, the supervisor and a coworker, have a birthday 4 days apart and they each get their own lunches. My argument is that why should we be any different? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I guess the dynamic at my work is a little more forward. If I was in that situation, I would say, I'm not doing the birthday lunch for a few reasons. 1. Francis picks the place every year. 2. The places he picks are terrible. 3. Every time we go, he dislikes either the food or the service and acts like a child to the waiters, waitresses, and it's honestly embarrassing to be around. Sorry, everyone, but that's just not how I want to spend my birthday. Now, on the flip side, the day before my birthday next week, I'm going to eat at XYZ restaurant. Feel free to join me if you want. That's what I would have said. I don't think saying any of that would be out of line. Comment 2. Not the idiot, and I'd say, let's see. Your position is go. My position is not go. So how is me just folding and going? Any sort of compromise? Compromise is separate the dates and I'll go. That's the offer. I'm willing to hear counters that aren't simply capitulation. Another offer is that we can go to my choice as many times as I have had to go to his, and then once we are even, we can have this conversation again. Also, any particular reason that Francis and I aren't worth the same amount as everybody else? Why is the one exception to the tradition that's permitted result in my having to eat terrible food on my birthday celebration? Comment 3. So why can't you just split up the birthdays? Do Francis on day X and yours on day Y just because they fall on the same day? If the company lunch isn't on the actual birthday day, why are you two forced to share a meal? And given that apparently everyone is aware of Francis having lousy taste, seems like your office is filled with unnecessary drama. Or maybe you trade off who chooses the place, and Francis has to suck it up next year, as apparently he sucks it up on other people's birthdays, not the idiot. Now, for the next story. So I just made an appointment to get my nose pierced for tomorrow. I've had it pierced before I met my boyfriend, but had to take it out. I went and told him I was going to get it done, and he's begging me not to. Even said he'd pay me to not get it done, and asked why I don't consult him when making these choices. We've been together a little over a year. Am I wrong for not asking him or discussing it with him before? Also, should I not get it since he doesn't want me to even though I want to? He said he doesn't want to be seen in public with someone with a nose piercing. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I'll go against the majority here and say no assholes here. You are totally free to do as you want, and you are not obligated to talk to him about those kinds of decisions. But you two are in a relationship, and it's always a good idea to share those kinds of decisions for the sake of the relationship. He clearly doesn't think that nose piercing is something attractive, and I'm sure there is some decision he could make that you wouldn't find attractive on him. We all need to make decisions with both our own preferences and the preferences of our partner in mind. If he doesn't like girls with nose piercings, he has the right to decide to leave the relationship, and you also have the right to decide that having the piercing is more important to you. I don't think that his reaction is necessarily a red flag. We all have our preferences. As long as this isn't like a regular thing where there is something he asks you to change every month, then it becomes more about control than preferences. Comment 2. No assholes here. That's controlling behavior and a huge red flag. If he loved you, a metal stud or ring wouldn't suddenly make you undesirable. Run away from this guy as fast as you can, because in my experience, this is just the start. Also, get the piercing. It's your body, your rules. Comment 3. If my husband decided he, from now on, only wants to run around in high heels and short skirts, it would not be my taste. But I love him, not his fashion. He is the one whose feet hurt. I would never be ashamed of him, no matter how his body looks. It's called love. Now, for the next story. My sister Laurel, 30 years old, had her second child a month ago. Her oldest is 14 months old. During Laurel's first pregnancy, she was asking different family members, except me, if they were dying to know what she was calling her baby and whether they wanted to guess the names she had chosen. One or two maybe gave a guess, but everyone told her they could wait until she and her husband were ready to announce. Her oldest, her son, she named Theodore. Her daughter is Mildred. During the second pregnancy, she was very much asking the same questions, still not to me. She got pretty much the same responses this time from those she asked as well. A few days ago, we were gathered for our brother's birthday, and Laurel was asking if anyone had any thoughts on her kids' names. I did not consider myself included in this because she did not look at me but looked at everyone else. People were like, not really? And things were ever so slightly awkward. Laurel asked why nobody was excited to find out her kids' names and why nobody had a big reaction. Our brother said he guessed what her kids' names would be like because of how she named her dogs, Dorothy, Stanley, and Eleanor, and he said she never hid the fact she likes really old names from anyone. Laurel was like, what is that meant to mean, the really old names part? My brother shrugged. Nobody else answered. Laurel got upset and said she had expected a lot more excitement and enthusiasm from everyone except for me, because I like weird, trendy names. But that she thought everyone else would say what great taste she had in names. I told her nobody cares what she named her kids, except for her. Nobody ever cares about what other people name their kids unless it's really crazy or they really care about names and stuff. She said that was so rude of me to say, and I was behaving like the bratty little sister who had no taste at all. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Sounds like sister wanted a standing ovation and lots of praise heaped on her for naming her kids. Next time you should all do your duty and give your sister the adulation she deserves. Per S. Not the idiot sister seems like an attention-seeking brat and exhausting to be around. No one really cares what you name your kids. Well, some weirdos who like to steal baby names or need to be included in the naming care. But the rest of the world couldn't really give a poop. Edit. I don't think names can be stolen or are owned by anyone. I use the term steal to describe people who use other people's intended baby names as a way of one-upmanship or because they are so unimaginative that they can't come up with their own baby names. Comment 2. No idiots here, maybe. You're right that some people aren't going to care about what folks name kids as much as the parents. It sounds like your sister was looking for some excitement about her pregnancy, and asking if people were excited to hear the name was her way of getting folks to support her. Usually, family members muster some excitement about babies and names. Some are even genuinely excited about milestones in the pregnancy of their sister/daughter/etc. You all seem to not really care, which leads me to believe your sister isn't feeling supported and wishes people would be more engaged with her. That doesn't make her an idiot. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your sister should realize when she is being a bit much. Also, the only correct response to "Can you guess the name?" is Muhammad, since Muhammad is the most commonly used name on Earth. Read a frickin' book for once. McLovin, if you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.